The scene this week in Iran's parliament was unlike any we've ever seen before. Lawmakers were chanting death threats to opposition leaders and to a former president of the Islamic Republic. Deaths to Mousavi, Karoubi and Khatami, they said, Khatami being a former president. This was in reaction to a new round of protests against the government in Tehran. So can Iran be another Egypt? Joining me now are two top experts on Iran. KARIM SAJADPOUR is an associate at the Carnegie Endowment and is of Iranian extraction, as is HOOMAN MAJD, an author and a journalist who now lives in New York. KARIM, what is your sense? Where is the green revolution that didn't quite work in 2009 today?
Fareed, there's an old maxim about analysts and authoritarian regimes. We say that while these regimes are in power, their collapse seems inconceivable. But after they've collapsed, we say it was inevitable. And I think Iran, the Islamic Republic, is somehow at the crossroads of that maxim, in the sense that right now I don't see this regime on the verge of collapse. At the same time, I don't see this regime's viability in the future. And I think that...
You mean in the long-term sense?
In the long-term sense as well.
How do you read what's going on over the last week or two?
Well, I think that, first of all, I think we have to remember, I would agree, it's impossible to predict what the long-term future of Iran is. But I think the thing to remember about Iran today is that the regime, the nizam, the system, whatever you want to call it, has a lot of support, still has a tremendous amount of support.
Describe the support.
Well, the support is obviously among the pious. I can't give you numbers. I have no idea what the numbers are, but still has a tremendous amount of support, including President Ahmadinejad himself, who still has a tremendous amount of support.
You think the regime has a lot less support than meets the eye?
Yeah, I would disagree with Hooman's characteristic that it has tremendous support. I think there's a couple of barometers. If it did have tremendous support, they would allow journalists like yourself to go there and report. They would allow other reporters to go there and see what's happening. And I think they would allow people to freely assemble and see what happens. But what I would say is this: I don't think that they have very wide support, but I think the support they have is deep, meaning they have people who are very willing to kill and potentially die on behalf of the regime. And I think that was one distinction between the Islamic Republic and Egypt's Mubarak, meaning the breadth of their support, I think, is fairly similar. But I think far more Iranians are willing to die.
Why is that?
Well, I think that, it's easier to compel people to kill on